All right, let's get started. Looks like I got my work cut out for me today. So I decided I'm experimenting a little bit. Before I was mounting the camera on my chest using this little vest, and now I'm trying to mount it on my head. I don't know which one's gonna be better until I'm done, so we'll see. So today I wanted to go over a concept of you are what you do and making a curriculum for yourself through excuses to learn how to do whatever it is you're looking to do. This is a video I did, I think 11 years ago. Create a curriculum for yourself through your excuses. So a lot of people will make excuses for why they can't do things. Myself most certainly included. I definitely make a lot of excuses for the shit that I can't do. And one of the ways that I tried to figure that out figure out how to do a lot of these things is through my excuses. I'm never gonna forget this. Michael Carvin, I have an interview with him on the channel. He's a really well-established drummer, but I'm not saying this to insult him as a drummer, but I don't really look up to him as a drummer. I looked up to him as a human being. So he has a lot of really good ideas. And I remember one of the things that he was saying is, you are what you do. And he was the one that put me on to the idea that I should pursue technical things rather than artistic things. I was working at a recording studio, and as a teenager, oh my God, I sucked at recording music. My recordings were freaking horrible. Yet there was this one studio in the Film Center building called Progressive Music back in the day, or I believe 1993 through to 1990. I missed something over there, but I just made a turn. From 1993 to like 2007 to 2008, and he had something like 32 or 36 tenants at the top of his business. And they always had problems with stuff in the rooms. And it wasn't really my job to fix the tenants' equipment, but I found what I did fun, and oh my God, this person is not turning. Usually they go around you a little when you're on a bike, but this person does not seem to. Oh God, I'm fucked. Actually, never mind, there you go. I was looking at my rearview mirror, and it very much so looked like he was just gonna run me over. That's very Christian of him to not run me over. Thank you. All right, so this space over here should probably be a hot spot for a bunch of shit because there's a restaurant over here and a bar. Let's see if I can find some litter. So what did I spend most of my time doing? I spent a lot of my time fixing things, even though it wasn't really my responsibility. Or at least trying to. I wasn't particularly good at it in the beginning, but I did put some effort in anyway. And I remember when he would tell me, you're a tech. I thought, well, I'm not a tech. I don't know what a coulomb is or a joule is. I don't understand Ohm's law. I don't get how a lot of this stuff works. I can't fix an amplifier. I don't know how a transistor works. And he says, that doesn't matter. This is what you're doing this, is what he said. I forget exactly what it was, because this is almost 20 years ago. But he made it very obvious. This is what you do. This is what I spend my time doing. Therefore, this is probably what I am. So I started creating this curriculum for myself through excuses. So if I am a tech, right, this is what I am. He said, that's what you are, that's what you do. Well, I said, I don't know what a transistor is or what it does. So what? Well, a tech would know what that is. So I am going to learn what it does. That was my excuse. I can't be a tech because I don't understand how to do this. You need to do that to do amp repair. I don't know any of these other things that I've heard of. Well, why don't I try to learn them? Wouldn't that make sense? I have no idea what you guys are seeing, by the way, because this camera is mounted on my head and the viewfinder is mounted on my head and my eyes look forward. They cannot go out of my head to look above my head, unfortunately. All I see is litter. Litter everywhere. Litter everywhere. Anyway. So, what was I saying? I'm not particularly amazing at soldering. Well, a tech would be good at this, so how would I do that? I can't read a schematic. Well, a tech would be able to do that. And obviously this stuff doesn't happen overnight, so I would say, okay, let me try to learn how to, quote, read a schematic, which is, in and of itself, it's not a task, because you don't read a schematic, you understand what each component does, then you understand how they fit together. A schematic is a story. So it's not, you wouldn't say, how do I read a book? You would say, how do I learn the language? And then how do I learn the meaning of the words? And then you read it. So I'd be looking at this and I would be trying to figure out what this circuit does, but I don't know what it does. Okay, well, what is a transistor? Let's learn. Well, okay, I read a book and this definition doesn't make sense to me at all. So, well, I don't know what that is. I don't know what it does. Okay, Well, a technician would not give up, right? A technician not going to say, I tried to do this. A professional technician is going to say, well, I should know what that is. So let's try and figure out what that is. I'm going to find a simpler explanation. Let's try to find a simpler explanation. And I did. Came across somebody's videos. Somebody who was actually uploading back in the golden era of YouTube, like the 2006 to 2008 kind of era. And and I eventually finally understood it. Okay, but now I'm looking at this page of a battery charger for a MacBook, and it's like, I don't understand. Okay, I know what a transistor does, but why do you have two? Why does one go in the ground and why is one going there? Well, I don't know what this circuit does. So let's try and, now, I don't know what this circuit does. I have no idea what it is. I guess I'm not a technician. Well, a technician would know what that is. And if he didn't know what it is, and that's his job, he's gonna ask, and he's not gonna be afraid if he looks like an idiot. And I can't be afraid if I look like an idiot. So let's figure it out. Let's ask. I don't know why there's a transistor over here, one going to ground and one going here. I know what an inductor is now because I looked it up, but why is there an inductor and then a bunch of capacitors in front of it? You really don't look like you're turning. Oh God. Oh, thank God. God bless you, sir, for not running me straight over. I assume everybody driving is drunk, and that's one of the ways as a bicyclist in New York City that I didn't die. Assume everybody around you is drunk. Or an Uber driver, which is even worse. At least in New York City. I don't know how they are outside in New York City, but oh my God. Taxis and Ubers in New York, fuck my life. They're like assassins. And you keep going with that. Now, to be clear, there's a difference between trying to become the identity of what you are saying you want to be. There's a difference between that and screwing people, right? So for instance, me saying to myself, I want to try and learn how to do this. I'm going to try to do the things that a technician would do because I am a technician. That is different than telling people I am a technician and then doing that work before I know what I'm doing and misrepresenting myself. That's that Elon Musk full self-driving bullshit. Like, you can tell yourself, I am a man that makes self-driving cars. But you don't tell your fucking customers and bill them $15,000 for a car that can't drive itself. I don't want to hear any bullshit from the Elon Musk stands in the chat. None of that bullshit. I will self-drive this bike through your face. Come at me, bro. Anyway. So, now this is not something that happens overnight. I used to have border pair students back when I taught this class on this, and a lot of them would say things like, man, I can't believe it took me until day 3 to get that concept. It seems so easy now. And I would have to tell them, I tried to learn how to do this. Okay, between the time that I started doing this and the time that I fixed my first MacBook motherboard, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, I still don't think people are not going to hit me. Ah! Oh, thank God you weren't drunk. God bless me. You know, there's no public transit in Texas, so if you go to a bar and you drink, you see where I'm going there. So I assume that everybody is drunk. Ah! Ah! I have to fix this bike so it can go faster than the cars. Right now, I fucked a few things up so it can't go faster than cars. But very soon, trust me, my friends, this thing will be a speed demon. I will be able to break the speed limit on my bike. Soon. Oh, there's no litter over here. It's kind of boring. Might go back over there and go to the beach. Yeah, so I would tell them they would take 3 days and they still didn't understand how to do a particular concept. And when it took them 3 days and they got depressed, I would tell them, guess how long it was from the day I said I was a tech to the day I fixed my first board? 4 years. 4 years. So you're doing pretty fast if you did it on day 3. And a lot of people have the imposter syndrome gets to them. They feel like they're liars. They feel like they're cheaters because they're saying there's something they're not. But you got to be willing and comfortable to do that before you get to the point where you are. And again, when I would fork on boards, to be clear, in the early days, if we replaced a board for a customer, I would give them back their old one. And sometimes I would give them back their old one and they would look at me and think like, what is this? I don't want this shit. And then when I would take that board back and it would be on my shelf, that's what I would work on, not customer stuff. Remember, don't screw people. It was the same thing with being a business owner. Well, I want to start my own business. Working at Avatar Studios, they make $7.50 an hour. You know, there was a guy there that had a college degree in electronics engineering. He was a master's degree. He made $12 an hour. I'm just looking at this and it's not exactly exciting. I'm not particularly excited about the fact that I could stay here for the next 13 or 14 years and be making $12 an hour. It wasn't particularly appealing to me, so I left. So I got to start my own company because I've never been able to get a job. Okay, well, I'm not a business owner. Okay, well, what would a business owner do? What is a business owner? And I got a video back from 2012, either 2012 or 2013, back in the early days of this channel, where I said, a business owner, what is a real business? A real business is not because you have a store. A real business is not because you, I mistook a rock for pollution. Oh well. Anyway, a real business is not because you have a store. A real business is not because you have a license and everything else, although, you know, you should pay your taxes and all that shit. A real business is a business that treats its customers like they matter. If your customers have a problem, you solve that problem. If they have an issue, you fix it. You don't say, well, I'm supposed to be off today, so I know that you need your thesis, and you paid for data recovery already, and the drive I gave you was empty. I'll get back to you next week. No, you fix that shit immediately. You solve problems for your customers, and you treat your business like it's real. That's what makes you a real business. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Jeez. That was stupid. Oh God. Okay, I actually didn't break my back. That's pretty nice. I thought I broke my back. So, well, okay, so, I mean, how do you get business? I mean, I'm not a business owner. Well, what would a business owner do? Well, they probably put up advertising, right? All right, let's put up pull tab signs. I'll put up pull tab signs. See if that works. Okay, that doesn't really work. Let's try. What would a business owner do? I guess I'm not a business owner. Well, no, would a business owner give up? Or would they say, okay, what else can I do to advertise? See, you find the other stuff you could do. Well, let me post on Craigslist. Let me post on Backpage. Back before it was just a way to sell your body. Back then I sold my services, not my body. And not services to my body. You know? Don't want to get any wise-ass comments here. Is that not a beautiful sunset, by the way? God damn, that's pretty. I wish I left earlier, but I had a lot of stuff to do today, so wasn't able to make time to leave earlier. So you probably can't see shit. I'm not sure how well this camera is. These lights are pretty good. One of my lights is dead, but this light didn't die, which I'm happy about. Okay. Well, a business owner, what they would do is find other ways to advertise. Whoa, that was a giant bug that just went by my ear. So I did. Put up ads in a bunch of different places. Well, nobody knows who I am. I don't have a reputation. Okay, well, a business owner would try to get a reputation. Just I offered some services on eBay. I had them mildly cheaper. I shouldn't have. Admittedly, I feel bad about doing that. You shouldn't really devalue your business, but I had no feedback, so I'll post here. And I'll also showcase that I worked at Avatar Studios, because that was one of the best studios in the world, and I did get to fix things there. I did make 31102s work again. I did make some of the other gear there work again. What would a business owner do? A business owner would eventually have a location if you have enough people calling you. I mean, a business owner would have a business phone. They'd have a website. I don't know how to make a website. You see where I'm going with this? Well, everybody makes excuses for themselves. And I make excuses for myself all the time. I'm constantly making excuses for myself. But I try to take the excuse and I turn it into a little curriculum. Let's think about lobbying. Well, what would a lobbyist do? I don't know how to do any of this. A lobbyist would probably show up to the legislative building. Okay, let's start with that. I don't know how a bill turns into a law. I went to New York City public school. We don't learn jack shit there. You would just smoke weed in the stairwells and play video games in class and fall asleep. So I don't know how a bill becomes a law. That stuff is confusing to me. However, what would a lobbyist do? They'd probably show up to the legislative building, right? That's probably something that they would do. So let me just show up and talk to politicians. That's the basic of it. All right, how do you do that? Well, I don't even know which building you go to. Okay, well, they probably know the building they go to. Let's look it up. remember talking to my first politician back in 2015. I will never forget that event. I'll never forget that story. The guy said that Apple told him, Apple's lobbyist, I shouldn't say Apple, that when I fix a MacBook by running a wire, replacing a component, I'm turning a MacBook into a PC and then misrepresenting it as if it's still a Mac to my customers, which is fraud. Well, what would a lobbyist or a person trying to get something passed do? They would probably correct bullshit-ass misinformation that they're given by scumbag lobbyists. So I corrected it. I brought a MacBook board there, and I showed him when I ran a wire on it. I'm never going to forget, 820-2936, PP3V4. It was a trace from PP3V4 to switch. It was where to the coil. I don't remember exactly what it was. It was something about that. Anyway, I ran my wire, and it worked. And I said, when I run this wire, are you saying that this no longer exists? Like the rest of this is really not what it is because it's a wire? You see how ridiculous that is, right? And he understood. And then I'm talking and explaining this, and he says, and I said, why? I just out of curiosity, why did you buy into that? And he said, because I was not told otherwise. Nobody showed up. And that's when it really solidified it for me. What would a lobbyist do? Well, a lobbyist would show up, right? That's what they would do. So I showed up. And I decided I'm going to show up to all of these because I noticed that he wasn't paying attention to me at one point anymore. He didn't look like he was paying attention, so I kind of brought up, like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm signing your bill, dumbass, or co-sponsoring your bill. He was filling it out. I keep getting trolled. The white rock keeps looking like a trash bag to me, or a plastic bag, or like a cup or something. I keep getting trolled with that, but it's probably because I can't. I went out too late tonight. Next one of these I do, I'm not going to do it at the middle of the evening. That's kind of lame. You don't get to get the view. You want to see the nature and the stuff. And this is a cool neighborhood because you have trailer parks next to $8 million homes. It's very, very, and everybody gets along. Like you have a trailer park next to these like little apartments that kind of look like the $34 a night hotels I would stay at and driving through West Virginia. And then you have like all this insanely expensive shit. And everybody just gets along. It's like its own little enclave. And they all just leave each other alone, but this while simultaneously being a community. Very nice. Nice to witness. Just like New York City, right? Yeah, just like living on Nostrand and Green Avenue. Just exactly. Oh, man. Yeah, just like that. Okay, so. Okay, well, I don't know what politicians to talk to. I don't know how this stuff becomes a law. I don't know how to get attention to something. What would they do? They'd probably create those awareness campaigns, wouldn't they? You know, you see Facebook have that shit. Facebook will have that crap where they're talking about regulation and how they care about it. I forget exactly where I saw it. Was it on a billboard? Was it on a magazine? I don't freaking remember, but they put that stuff somewhere. And when I would, so, okay, well, let's raise awareness for it. Let's record every time I go to a legislative building. Let's talk about the issue in a way that people will matter. I think it matters. What would somebody trying to get a law passed do? Well, one of the things they'd probably do is have money. They would probably have money. Okay, so how do I raise money? Well, you could do a fundraiser. Well, I'm not a fundraiser. I don't know how to raise money for things. I don't know how to start this. Okay, well, maybe you should ask a lawyer or somebody who does that. Oh, a 501c4, that's what you would raise funds to for political lobbying. Cool. Okay, I don't know how to do a fundraiser. There's a million ways to do it. But what if I make a video that I'm doing it, and then I start a page on GoFundMe? And now I'm a lobbyist with funds. You see how this works? Same thing with video creation. I mean, look at the early videos in this channel. Arrange the videos in this channel from oldest to newest. Click on one of those. I dare you. Tell me that, because there are people that'll say this channel was specifically engineered to have maximum viewership or something. Like, this is the opposite of a channel that was designed as a job. This channel should have never had the subscribership that it did. There's no way. It makes no sense whatsoever. None at all. But it does. But the point is, I don't know how to make videos, so what would you do? Well, you'd have a camera, you'd probably aim it at yourself, and you talk. I don't know what to say. Well, let's find something to say. I don't know. What bothered me that day? What was on my mind? Maybe what's on my mind will be on somebody else's mind. Huh? That's something. Maybe what's on my mind would be on somebody else's mind. Maybe that's how I can talk about the issues in a way that people will care. Ooh, High Line leads to the fake beach, but I forget if it's left or right. It's right. Never mind. Yeah, it's. There's a fake beach over here. Goes to Mansfield Dam. I think it's a private drive, but I'm not sure if it's, I think it's private, but it's like a private club or something. However, I am and will always be a New Yorker. Yes, my neighbors may not be happy with that, but such is life. I am proud of what I am. I may not be happy with my homeland all the time. New York is a place where you could build something from nothing. It's very cool. You can build something from nothing. Got 8.5 million people there. There's that whole idea if you can build it in New York, you could build it anywhere. And I've shown on my channel all the difficulties in doing business there, so yes, that doesn't always necessarily mean a good thing. The whole if you can build something there, you can build it anywhere. That is not a compliment to the location, to be clear. Oh, I almost dropped my... Yeah, no. I really have to get a better way of carrying all this. Okay, anyway. So this looks like a gate over here. I think this is a gate. So what we do is we go around the gate, because I'm from New York, and that's what we do. Yeah. And then go down here. Permit parking, members only. Members only. I identify as a member. There, all right. Okay, do we have any trash? Private property, no trespassing. Yeah, that's fine. I'm a likable guy. I don't think anybody's gonna shoot me. Who would shoot somebody picking up litter? Who would shoot somebody that picks up litter, man? You can't. That's just fucked up. Okay, do we have any litter? Any litter? I'm gonna go... Let's go down all the way over there. There's a cone. You need more than that to stop New York people. Way more than that to stop New York people. Okay. It's a nice little marina. Okay. It's gonna stop over here. I'll walk down to the water, see if there's any junk. Really should have done this during the day. It's harder to see everything. I lost track of time with what I was doing earlier. Interesting. Okay, not much. Looks like people actually don't treat this like shit. Wow. Maybe other people are starting to pick their shit up. That'll be cool. What's that? I keep getting trolled by rocks. I keep thinking that rocks are pollution. The rocks are not pollution, they're simply rocks. All right, back up there. What about this? Damn it, that's a rock. Hopefully you get the idea. Virtually everything that I'm known for is not actually something that I am. I didn't go to school to become an activist. I didn't go to school to become a tech, a business owner, a lobbyist. Definitely didn't go to school to become an e-bike creator. That's for sure. All the stuff that I do, it's all just stuff where I kind of, well, here's why I can't do it. I accidentally fell into it. Here's why I can't do that. Well, okay, let's fix each one of those individual reasons. Anything that is an excuse can be turned into a curriculum. And the thing is, a lot of the times I fail. Like at one point, I remember with Rossman Supply Group, that freaking failure of a company. What would a wholesaler do? What a wholesaler would do is not go broke. That's what a wholesaler wouldn't do. A wholesaler wouldn't buy 1,000 of a particular product before figuring out if it has a high sales volume just to hope to get a quantity discount. Oh man. There was a lot of fail there. That was to be clear, you're not always going to succeed. But the thing is, excuses can be very powerful. They really are, because they give you the direction that you need. And with most people, it's the thing that I've noticed is most people, it's not that they're not willing to put in the work. People are. They're willing to put in the work. I hear that all the time. People don't want to work anymore. They don't want to put in the effort. People they want to do the work. They really do. The problem is they don't know what the work is. They don't know what the work actually is. And nobody's told them what the work is. And I think a big part of what scares people is not having a specific direction. They want to have a direction. They don't want to just have a random direction. They need a path. And unfortunately, there is no very specific path. You kind of got to make it for yourself. The hardest part in life is finding a path. Like working 16 hours a day. I don't mean this in a hyperbolic way, but like working 16 hours a day is actually the easy part. Finding what to do for your 16 hours a day. Like, what is your path? What are you going to do for the 16 hours? That's the very difficult part. That's seriously, that's the hard part. That's the rub. I'm going to turn my lights out a little bit to make it easier to see the side of the road, because that'll make it perhaps easier to see some litter even though it's late at night. I shouldn't say late at night, it's 8:09. It's just the sun goes down earlier now. I keep getting trolled by white rocks, man. I'm at a point where I literally I'm not going to pick up white garbage. I say that every Friday night. Ouch. Bad joke. But I fail. I always mistake that thing for a dog right there. Yes. That would have been a better horrible joke if I said white trash, but no. Also fairly awful. It's not even worthy of being called a dad joke. Alright, seems like the center of town is where I will find the most trash to pick up. See, if there was trash over here, this would mean that people were throwing beer cans out of their car, which would mean that people are drinking while driving, which would be a very Texas thing to do. But luckily, that's not the case. I'm happy about that. People just drink as they walk around the neighborhood. I appreciate that. Thank you. Ooh, beer can. Finally. I don't feel like yes. A little bit of purpose here. Hello, beer can. Come back, beer can. Here, beer can. Yes. Is that beer or is that soda? I hope the fuck it's soda. Who am I kidding? It's Texas. That's gonna be some beer. That's gonna be some beer. Primetime punch, fruit punch flavor. Okay, that doesn't sound like beer. It's an energy drink. About 200 milligrams of caffeine. That would mess me up. Caffeine destroys me as a human. A big one recently is pretending I know how to work at a software company. Oh, maybe that's a beer can. Okay, here we go. This is a little bit of trash land right here. Get some stuff to pick up. The other problem is that one of the most difficult things about this process, by far, is the beginning. Lost Mary, Miami Mint. What the fuck is that? Yeah, one of the hardest things is, in the beginning of any of these stages, is the feeling like an idiot, and it's the making no progress. It's like one of those functions where The graph is very, 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 very even until one point when it just starts to immediately go to infinity. And for a really long time, you're going to feel like a giant idiot because you're doing something you don't know how to do. And you're doing something that you didn't identify as, that you don't have. I think that's another thing that I think keeps people from doing this type of stuff. They want to have a specific direction in life, but more importantly, it also feels good to not feel like an idiot. And there are a lot of things where you could do where you're learning at a linear basis. People, I think, feel much more comfortable learning at a linear basis than they do learning at a, what is this in the middle of the street? Is that a shirt? Okay, this is kind of a dangerous turn because nobody looks, so I'm gonna have my light pointed this way as I pick that up. And I think people like to have an idea of a linear path. Like, today I'm 2 better than I was yesterday, then I'm 2 better each day, something like that. Shut up, dog. Fuck you, dog. You should be I like cats, because cats like me. Dogs never like me. Fuck dogs. I am not a fan of dogs, I really am not. I like kitties, and I like fishies, and I like birdies. Dogs can fucking suck it. You can suck it, dog. Beer can. And some other bottles. I still have to figure out how to get my hall sensors working on this Subvaton. That's gonna take a while. I saw something else here. Let's see how good my night vision is. Nice junk. Night vision is shit. Okay, never mind. This other light I have up here is broken. I'm gonna replace that. I have 2 working lights in this bike and one that's destroyed. If I had the other one, it would be a little easier because it's more of a wide angle thing. I have to get that fixed. It's on the list. I have such a list of shit to do. This is something that relaxes me, so I use this to take breaks, because if I didn't take breaks, and it's very easy for me to get pigeonholed into doing one thing constantly. I think that's part of what made me a workaholic. It's not that I'm actually it's not that I have a great work ethic or that I'm a hard worker. That has nothing to do with it. I'd be giving myself far too much credit there. Okay, that's a hat and it could belong to somebody, so I'm not going to throw that away. But that Dr. Pepper can label over there does have to go. Yeah, that's going to have to fuck right off. Right. A lot of it is I'm not very good at switching back and forth between tasks. It's like so if I'm working until 4 in the morning on one particular board trying to figure it out, it's not because I'm a hard worker, it's because I really, really hate switching tasks or switching between them. So this is an exercise for me in how to do that. That guy has a little, he has a little very small, like golf cart looking 4x4, and it has a bunch of American flags on it. Texas. That's that freedom right there. I'll wait for him to go, because I have to fix my bike's speed. It's not as fast as I'd like it to be right now. Fuck it, I'll just go. Let's see, how fast can I get this thing to go? You only live once, right? YOLO. I gotta fix the speed on this thing. This is pathetic. This is a joke. I can't even do 50 right now. Pathetic. Can I tell you guys a secret because I'm out of New York? I was never going 19.9 miles an hour. The speed limit for e-bikes was 20. I used to do 50 on this thing. I don't give a fuck. What is Mayor de Blasio going to do? They're trying to send him to jail. Extradite me and take my e-bike, mofo. Anyway. There's a lot of maintenance I have to do to this before I ever do those speeds again. I'm lucky to get 36 right now. Pathetic. Pathetic. So a cup. All right, let's go back and get the cup. Whoa! Ah, shit. Actually, there's some junk over here. No, it's a white rock again. God damn it. Keep getting trolled by the fucking rocks. There was the cup. Sometimes also, even if you try to do the whole thing with make your own little self-curriculum with excuses and you fail, there's a lot of fun stuff you learn along the way. That's another thing. You have to try to let go of caring about the outcome. I wish I mentioned that earlier. The reason that anybody that would show up saying, oh man, I have to learn board repair. I need to do this because my business is going to fail if I don't, and I have a week to learn this, and I need to learn this within a week, and I'll just be honest with you, unless you're one of the top 5%, remember those kids in class that just got everything the first time the teacher explained it? The ones that never had to ask any questions, the ones that always just magically picked up everything? Yeah, that's probably not you. No offense. It's not me either. So if I say to myself, well, I'm going to get this, I'm not. And it also puts a lot of pressure on you to succeed. And when you're going through this process, you're probably not going to succeed because you're trying to do something that you're fundamentally not made to do. So that's a big one. So in Jim Camp has a negotiating book called Start With No. And one of the things that he talks about is not caring about the outcome, having what's called a blank slate. And having a blank slate is very important. Not caring about the outcome is very important. So when you're doing this, it's very important to not care about the outcome. Well, a board repair person would know what a transistor is. So if you spend 2 days reading electronics books and you don't know what a transistor is, oh well. It's not I'm a failure because I tried to do this and I failed, but rather it could be seen as, okay, whatever, I didn't get it. I'm doing something else anyway. If I didn't do this, I would have just been playing a video game. I could just always go back to playing my video game. But if you're telling yourself, I need to solve this, anytime there's a need, it becomes really difficult to do whatever it is you're trying to do. I need to figure this out tonight. I need to know what this is. If I can't pass this class, I'm stupid. The more pressure you put on yourself to figure something out, the less likely you are to actually succeed. So if you start from the opposite, which is, okay, whatever, I assume I already failed this class. Since I assume I already failed it, let's have fun. I'm going to work at my own pace. I don't know what this concept is, so instead of trying to keep up with the class and do everything that the class says I'm supposed to be doing right now, let me just try and figure out these basic concepts over here that I need to know for this. Make it a foregone conclusion that you failed. I'm not saying tell yourself I'm a failure, but just don't expect that you're going to pass. And then you may find out, well, you start learning all those concepts, all the basic concepts that you don't really understand. And then at some point, wow, it's very easy to start catching up. Now I know what this is. Now I know how to, factor a function or some shit. Assume that you have failed calculus. And just go back to all the other stuff that you probably cheated on in Math A and Math B in high school. And learn it slowly. There's no pressure. You probably already failed. You don't care if you pass. And then when you do that, when you slow down, you can actually learn. The one lesson that one of the most important lessons I've learned in my 30s, I keep learning, I have to learn it over and over and over again because I never listen to it due to my own impulsive nature, is that the tortoise always beats the hare, every time. Really does. But when they say do things slowly, I think they're missing out on a big part of it, which is it's not about whether you do things slow, it's about why you do things slowly. It's not the fact that you're doing something slowly. Correlation isn't causation here. It's that you're able to do it slowly because you don't care about the outcome anymore. If you don't care about the outcome, it's very easy to not rush to get something done in a particular period of time because you don't care about the outcome. Not caring about the outcome and the outcome just being a foregone conclusion that it's not going to be what you want makes it a lot easier to go through that curriculum of excuses and actually not care if things don't go. Obviously in some ways people, I know some people say easier said than done, I'm broke, I live in a place filled with termites. Yeah, I know what it's like to live in a place filled with termites. I know it's not fun. Ooh, I think I saw a piece of, you know what? No, I think that was a white rock. I'm not getting trolled by a white rock again. I don't care if I leave something on the floor. Fuck that. No more white rocks. Fuck that. No more white rocks. Not caring about the outcome is important. I went to a car dealership with someone I know recently who's somewhat nervous about any time she has to deal with like a negotiation, not even negotiation, just I have to talk to somebody about something new. Like I have to open a bank account. I have to call a mover, anything like that, just nerves. So I said, watch this. So I go to a car dealer. This is a funny one. So I go to a car dealer and as I'm walking in, the guy's like, oh, what are you doing today? And I just look up to him and I say, look at my fish, aren't they cute? And I show him a video of my fish. And he's probably thinking, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like, they're adorable, aren't they? Have you ever heard of Hill Country Water Gardens? And he says, no, I haven't. It's like, oh yeah, this is a great place. They have all these pond supplies. They have all these beautiful plants. I always come down here on my way back to San Antonio just to take a look at it and pick stuff up. I was actually on my way to Bernie to buy a car, but I noticed that you guys sell cars and you're on my way, so I figured I'd just check it out. See, I'm setting the stage, so I don't really care about the outcome because I was going to go someplace else anyway. So I test drive this car and it's not bad, not horrible, but he gives me a price that, in my opinion, is ridiculous. So I said, well, here's kind of what, in this car dealer, they're advertising it for this. That's kind of what I was looking for because I was already headed there anyway. See, I wasn't going here to buy a car. I was going here on the way. I wasn't planning on it because I was going to Hill Country Water Gardens, right? That's why I showed you my fish. And he says, well, when you go to that dealer, they're going to tell you that it's this crazy price because they're actually going to have a market adjustment and all these other fees, and you're going to wind up paying all this extra. So I said, well, either one of two things is true. Either A, you are lying about a colleague in your own industry just to get a sale, or B, you're right, you're not lying about a colleague, but you work in an industry where your colleagues are scum because, they sell Toyota and you sell Toyota. Huh. Anyway, I honestly just want to go there and see the look on the guy's face. So let's say that he actually doesn't sell it for that low price. Like, I want to see what he says. Like, man, imagine if I show up there and he actually does tell me like, it's X price. I just want to videotape it, honestly. I don't even care about buying a car anymore. I just kind of want to see what he says. So I go to leave, and because I really don't care about the outcome. And he's like, well, this is the last one of this color. And it's like, that's an interesting coincidence that the Corolla is like the most popular car, one of the most popular sedans in the world. And you're one of the biggest car dealerships in this entire area for Toyota. And you only have one of the most popular color. Man, that's tell me more. I'm kind of interested in that. Who runs your inventory? Anyway, I didn't really care about the outcome. I didn't care if this guy told me to go fuck myself. I didn't care if I even got the car. And I go to leave, and he's like, okay, what price for you to leave happy? And it's like, the price this other place wants. I also said, listen, I realize you probably can't do that. You have a nicer dealership. You have a way nicer dealership than they do, probably. Probably have much higher costs. I'm not going to ask you to do that price because it would just be improper. I don't like when people go to my business and they lowball me. I'm not going to do that to you. And I know that the price of these two dealers are the same fucking thing. And by saying that, I'm kind of reinforcing that in his head. But the point is, not caring about the outcome works. I wound up getting that car for actually $1,000 less than the other place. Because because I didn't even say I wanted the price of that other dealer, which is cheaper than any place in a 500-mile radius. Actually, close. I said I don't even care about buying the car anymore. I just want to see the look on their face. So for right now, this isn't even about the price. I don't even care if you sell me this car for $500 cheaper. I just want to travel there to see what they say to me. That's what this is about. See, I don't care about the outcome. I don't care about buying a car. Once he knows that, once he knows I don't care about the outcome, he'll wind up getting that car for $1,000 less than the other deal. Well, not me. And then at the end of it, I said, by the way, I'm not buying this car. She is. LOL, JK. She was stunned. But the point of the matter, oh God, I'm gonna get run over. Not again. I need to make this bike faster. I'm sick and tired of the anxiety that comes from thinking I'm gonna get run over. Ah! Ah, that's fucking close, bro. I need it. I'm going the speed limit, by the way. The speed limit on this one road is 30. I'm going 37. Can you at least go over the yellow for a short period, mofo? Oh, well. Anyway. Don't care about the outcome. Allow yourself to fail. The only thing that made any of that negotiation work is I did not care if I left with a car. It did not matter to me. It was irrelevant. I mean, admittedly, it also wasn't my freaking vehicle that I was so, I was kind of fucking over my friend if I made an enemy of every Toyota dealership in a 500-mile radius. But it worked. Don't care about the outcome. Like, it's a superpower. It's not a trick. I'm not a master negotiator. I'm not a master at learning things. I'm not some what do you call it? Autodidact? I don't know what the fuck you call it. Ah, whoops. I know. I'm too tired to pick that thing up and try to figure out how to keep it on the side of the road. Where's my beer can? Is this my beer can? Okay, this wasn't the beer can I was looking at. This is a big gulp. Man, somebody out there's got a beer belly if they drank all these things. These things are horrible for you. Don't drink the big gulp. It's not good for you. I think that's my superpower in life. It's not caring about the outcome. I know somebody out there is going to say that's, luxury. Look, I guess it's a luxury other people can't afford to have. Maybe. I did not care about the outcome I started doing that from a point in my life where I really fucking should have cared about the outcome. Oh, I need a screw for my mirror. Oh well. I'm probably fine. There. It is very possible that my superpower is just being psychotic. I'm open to believing that. I could see that being the case. Uh-oh. Sometimes I think I could really use two-wheel drive. Beer can. Because of the slope of the road over here, it is fairly difficult to keep my bike up and therefore use the light the way I'd like to. But I also don't want to get run over. Speaking about not caring about the outcome, let's see if this person will see that I have a bike and lean to the left side of the lane. Come on. Eh? Come on. I'm only like 1 inch over the shoulder. That's how everybody in Texas parks their 2005 Pontiac G6 on the side of the road with no hazard lights on at 1 in the morning, right? I'm learning how Texas works. There's one other can that I forgot to pick up over here. Let's see if it wasn't a can, it was a white cup. Here we go. If that's a white rock, I'm retiring. This better not be another white rock. No, that's a paper cup. Beautiful. It's not a plastic cup, it's a paper cup. See? You do have environmentalists and greenies in Texas. Look at that. Look at that. think that's a bag. That's a broken cup. Well, at least it's... It's a pretty night. Okay, time to get out of here. I'm really gonna try to do this at night from now on. I mean, at daytime from now on. Can't really see shit at night. Makes it less fun. At least hopefully you got to see some of it before the sunset. Really pretty colors in the sky. Hopefully by then I've fixed everything that's wrong with this bike. I have to get my shunt resistor setup working, no time for that. I have to get the hall sensor crap to work. Doing a hall sensor test in a Sabaton after matching the wires really did not work. The thing that makes me really sad is I have a post on Endless Sphere forums back from 6 years ago where nobody posted what the BBS HD to Sabaton hall sensor wires were. I posted the color code and I used that same color code, but it works like shit. Like, listen to this. You hear that? Actually, it's not. Yeah, it's not doing it now because you could hear the hammer kind of click in. It's not smooth. It's not going to do it now because I wanted to do it for the video. It's usually the way this shit works. Oh God, please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Okay. I need to make this thing faster again. Well, I'm going to finish it. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now. Actually, not bye now because I have to be able to... I usually use my right hand to stop the recording and the thing's on my head. And my right hand has a bag in it right now. Now I gotta use my left hand. All right, let's see if this works. Oh shit, I'm in the middle of the road. I probably shouldn't do that right now. Okay, let's go off the road for a moment. That's a smart thing to do. See you next time.